regular meeting of the North Oakland Transportation Authority. This is a rescheduled meeting for today, which is Thursday, December 22nd, 2022. I apologize for my voice. I've got an nasal thing going on. I want to welcome everybody. Wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and that we call a roll in, please.
Oh, sure. McDonald?
Here.
Brakefield?
Here.
Payne?
Here.
Waffle is excused. Burnett is
Just
excused.
leave it.
Bourgeois?
Yes, here.
Pearson?
Here.
Sarowski?
Here.
Jack is excused. Ann is excused. And Mike is excused.
Okay. All right, we'll do the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, board has before the agenda for today. Are there any questions, changes? If not, a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion to approve the agenda as written. Second.
All in favor of the motion to approve the agenda as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay, board has received the minutes of the November meeting. If there are no questions, changes, or corrections, a motion to receive and file it would be in order.
I'll make that motion to approve the minutes as written. Second.
Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay, the motion carries to approve the minutes. Director's report.
I move to receive and file the director's report.
I'll second. All in favor of the motion to receive and file the director's report, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Number 7, public comments. I don't see any public. Mike, anything?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, moving on then to number 8. We'll try to hold off voting for a little bit, but are there any questions or regarding the financial activity of the bills or the budget? We'll leave the budget adjustments for last. Any questions on that? The amount of the bills will be $36,952.07. We want to separate budget adjustments and approve the rest, or do we want to do it all at once? You can't do it all at once.
Yeah.
Because Chris is not here. So we could do the bills and the financial activity.
Mike, what was that amount? I'm trying to look.
$36,952, did you say?
Yeah,
Yes.
36,000.
I move to approve, we can approve the checks, right?
Right.
I
don't see
move to
what-
approve the accounts payable for $36,952.07.
I'll second.
Motion and second to approve the bills as presented. Roll call vote, please.
McDonald?
Yes.
Brakefield?
Yes?
Payne?
Yes.
Bourgeois?
Yes.
Pearson?
Yes.
Sarowski?
Yep.
Okay, motion carried, bills are going to be paid.
Can I move
Yes.
to receive and file the financial activity report?
I'll second.
Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of receiving and filing the financial activity informational, please say aye.
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 Opposed, please say no. Okay. 5. Okay,
That's
that
it,
sounds
Chris.
like Chris.
I think he's here. I think we should just make a motion and tell him.
Hi, guys.
I have the stuff.
Okay, we just have a little bit of a change just on this.
Sure.
I move to approve the 2022 budget adjustments as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the budget adjustments for the fiscal year 2022. Any questions on the motion? Could we have a roll call, Lynn, please?
Sure. McDonald?
Yes.
Wakefield?
Yes.
Payne?
Yes.
Barnett?
Yes.
Bordeaux?
Yes.
Pearson?
Yes.
Cyrosky?
Yep.
Very good. Motion passed, but the budget's adjusted. There is no old business. Moving on to new business, the Oakland County Transit Village update. We don't really have an update per se. As all of us here probably know, NOTA did not levy its millage, its voted millage, because of the transit authority. So that's one effect of it. And then the member communities are not going to be required to contribute anything more than their smart credits. The rest of the funding will come from the Oakland County Transit Village. So are there any questions on that? Is there any kind of understand? Is there anything else you want to add to that before we move on?
No, I think there's some extra details in the director's reports, that's about it, that you can find on what we've done this last one. We'll give you the questions you can respond. But we'll be meeting soon after, in January, they're hoping to have a contract by mid-January, a tentative contract to bring to the boards, so we'll be bringing those to you guys. And we'll probably have to have a special meeting after they come up with a preliminary contract for us to kind of review and go over it. And I'll let you know as soon as they come up. But they're hoping by mid-January.
Okay. So we'll move on then, unless there's any questions on the transit village, to the budget adjustment of our 2023 budget, which we adopted a couple months back, basically due to the passage of the Oakland County Transit Village. So, Lynn, do you want to
Yes.
go
Ho,
ahead?
ho, ho.
Must be Brett.
What? No.
I thought I'd sit in. if
Hi
it was
there,
a chair.
Brett.
Oh, sure.
An extra
Chair,
chair.
yeah, so I just passed out the updated copy of the adjusted budget for 2023. The highlighted areas let you know that we have our, included the $2 million that we're expecting from the Oakland County revenue. I did remove the additional government contributions, like Mike said, so all the individual communities will be contributing their municipal credits. We do have grant revenue of $624,458 that we're expecting to receive. We also are including fair income based on $2 a ride. That's what the county kind of made an assumption that we're going to be all the same, so that we are continuing across
Is that what we settled on?
$2 a ride.
Was that after the meeting, or they did it?
They did it during the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. How many rides did you have in a fiscal year that would, how much money will this generate? Just curious.
Well, based on 2,500 rides per vehicle is really kind of what we currently are operating, $2 a ride, and then if we're estimating 20 routes for next year, that's where the 100,000 is coming into as the proposed budget.
Okay.
So the short answer is there on your, the proposed budget, you'll see an amount of money for that.
Right.
$20,200.
How much?
$20,200
Oh.
for fares?
Oh, no, that's, it's actually, it's
Oh,
it's
no,
under the
that's not
revenue
right.
side, it's 100,000. Under fair income, it's on page 1, it's right under the millage. And that's estimated, because we currently are at 17 routes, that's how many routes we run right now. With an expansion, this $2 million, that is not paying for us to expand outside of NOTA area. It's just, all it's doing is giving us 3 additional routes into our own area, so we'll have 20 routes just in NOTA area based on that $2 million. If we want to expand, they're gonna have to give us more than the $2 million, and that's what we're in negotiations with right now, and trying to come up with a contract on what they wanna do. We have given them some estimates of if we go up 10 vehicles or another 20 vehicles, like what that cost would be, and they're just trying to determine what they want. This $2 million is just for our area, no expansion is included in that, but it is giving us an additional 3 routes. So we're gonna go up from 17 routes to 20 routes for the Nodot area.
And it's not, when we started charging fares, we never were, I mean, we never charged enough, but part of it was just to make sure that people had some commitment level when they booked a ride.
Right.
Good
Accountability.
point, yeah.
And we have had some issues of that, where they'll make a ride and then they won't show up, and we used to give a no-show fee if they don't show, and, you know, we've had some difficulty in that, and I do understand that there's a pull for that, but we did have a discussion, and maybe it wasn't at the last meeting you were at, but last one when we decided to do $2 a ride. I don't think.
I
you
mean,
were
I
the
think,
last
I remember
one.
I remember them talking about it, I
Yes.
remember us, but that's, yeah.
Right,
Well, they basically requested that along with expanding the routes.
outside.
But nothing is written in concrete.
Right.
Right.
At this point.
Right.
But that's where I got the $2 from.
So the estimate is 100K?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Now, I've also included in here the electric vehicle grant that we got through SunCog, and then, those are just the grant numbers, but it's in and out, you know, revenues in and revenues out. Then also included in there, where we had talked about, we're gonna be increasing our dispatch software. We're not sure what that amount is, but that's $50,000, it's on the second page. We're looking to do a countywide dispatch system. We still have to go out for an RFP, so it's gonna be a long process before we get there, but I did build in an average of an annual cost for that system. Just increasing our costs based on 20 routes versus 17 across the board. And then we did some salary adjustments, you know, that are in this extra long page that has been built into the budget, which includes some improvements in our benefits. Originally, we just had health insurance, but now we have health, dental, and vision for our full-time employees. I've also built in a 401K with a 3% match and a $25,000 life insurance policy for full-time with long-term disability. So those are extra benefits that we're adding in to be a more competitive salary package for our drivers.
Is your salary, for the drivers and everyone else, is that gonna include raises, or are you gonna be stuck to 20?
No, this proposal shows an increase.
Okay.
Virtually all of that. And that was one of the other things that the county expressed, was they'd like to see some parity, not necessarily with SMART, but among the other providers. So
Right.
that was one of their other requests, is charge a fare, make sure that we're kind of doing things equally.
So, like, we're on board with what it is, so we're,
That, and what we kind of came across is $20 is gonna be kind of our baseline for our drivers. And so what I built in here is basically, I started people at $19 for training for 6 months, and then everybody's at $20, whether you're full-time or part-time, across the board. The full-time people just get the benefits that are different than the part-time. And then dispatch starts at $20 and they have 21, they get $1 more than the drivers.
There's
So-
no difference for a CDL driver versus non-CDL?
Now, the CDL drivers generally get time and a half because they are in a special event. When they do a special event, we charge it at time and a half. So
I
they
found
are
this on the
getting
web.
Time and a half for those routes. So they're basically getting compensated for it because of their special event rate that they're being charged out at.
And that's in and out, basically.
Right.
They work.
And then we
If
get.
they're
We
driving-
receive the money from whoever's sponsoring the event, if it is a sponsored event.
Right.
And if not, then.
But if they're driving non-CDL drives, then they're not getting any type of change.
I'm sorry, I
correct.
didn't quite catch that. Could you please say that again?
What? So, to recap briefly, this budget adjustment to the 2023 budget will basically make Lynn a full-time director. It will increase the benefits, as you've heard, and what else am I gonna?
Oh, and then
miss here?
increasing Mike's salary also,
Right.
and then increasing the dispatchers and drivers' rates.
Yeah, everybody's gonna benefit in that manner from the passage of this.
Mhm.
So, and again, the money is coming from the county this time, so It seems.
I've got a question, Mike.
It seems viable, yes.
The salaries, let's go with Mike first. When you hired Mike, he got an automatic $6,000 raise from the year before, roughly? The one before, I'm looking at it, and it was,
No, he went from 44,100 to 46,000.
okay, the 44, wasn't that doing, Doug was doing something, I see you broke it down, he was at 40, and then he did 44 due to duties on that, am I reading that
Oh,
right?
Mike was hired in 2020, so.
Something went wrong.
So
Please
Mike-
try again.
Well, I'm not looking at Mike, I'm looking
Oh.
at Doug,
Oh.
Doug's, okay,
Right.
so we're going down where it said 40,000,
Right,
then you added 44, 12.3 due to duties. So I'm assuming Mike just took over those same duties, so it would have been
right,
44.
right, exactly.
Okay, so it's 44,100, then automatically, when he was hired, it jumped from 44,100 to 46, $2,000 pay raise, correct?
Well,
That wasn't that part?
Doug had that raise, he just moved over to that same rate. So Doug had that rate, and then Mike took over in March.
So that was the rate
That was-
previous.
right. That-
Previous operation.
It wouldn't have moved over at 44,100?
No, because each year you get an increase, and so.
Just
Doug-
automatic, just,
Well, no, it's built into the budget.
We
so-
voted.
Right.
I know we voted it, Mike, I know we
Yeah, so
did.
each year is like an annual budget, so Doug would have received that amount until Mike took over in March.
Okay. And what would your, I see it right here, you'd be making, if we go to 5%, 59.33, correct?
We're suggesting you make, it's this page here, that he's at 80,000 and Lynn's at 100.
Well, I'm not looking at that, I jumped up, I figured we got Mike settled, that cleared that up.
Oh.
Then I'm going back up to yours now, you gave us two
Oh.
options, a 5% raise or a 10% raise. At the 5%, you'll be making 59.33 an hour.
Oh, yes.
At
Right.
10%, 62.15. Does
Right.
this board have a choice? Can we say, I'd like to approve the 5% and let it go at that?
Sure.
Then I would like to make the motion on the pay that it go by the 5%, full-time, 123,409.44.
What page are you on?
So this is,
Note of wage
the
history.
wage history.
See, and I wanted her to be up at 130 and Mike at 185 personally. I like that, at least.
You like it to be where?
I would have, my thought originally was that with Lynn going full-time, that she'd be at 130 and that Mike would be at 85.
Well, it's an easy way to spend taxpayer money, isn't it?
Well, she's coming on full-time and replacing her would be hiring multiple people.
Or you're one good person.
Well,
She's good.
there is another way to look at this. I'm not saying it's the right way.
There's a motion on the floor
But
that
this,
hasn't been
but all of
seconded.
our residents are now donors to this Oakland County Transit Authority. So any way we can get value back in and the county pays for it, I'm in favor of that. As long as the individual communities, the burden isn't on us. So we're looking at a 10-year millage, 10-year contributions, assuming everything works out. So your argument's valid that, yes, there's two ways we could go, but the money isn't coming out of our pockets.
In a way, it is, Mike.
Well, it is, but it's
It's
gonna.
coming out of our pockets,
But we're
whether
not-
it's
it's
Oakland
not
We're
County
not
or
supposed to be
it's.
having this conversation until we do something about this motion. There's a motion on the floor.
Well, I never heard a second, so the motion.
Okay.
The motion
But you
died.
gotta say that.
Okay, okay. I haven't heard a second on Ed's motion. If I don't hear a second, then the motion has died.
Okay.
Now,
All right.
that's a good point of order. I apologize.
Sorry, I didn't realize there was a motion.
I should have done that. Okay, so as I said, you're right, Ed. We could save the county money by not spending not giving it to employees like an operation. But it's an unusual situation.
No, it's
And-
just saving the people money, saving our
Well,
taxpayers a little bit. It's
no,
going to
well-
Oakland County, whether it goes to us, NODA, or it's going to Oakland County, it's coming out the same.
No, you're absolutely right. There's not a darn thing we can do about it. That was the beauty of our Dakota village, was we levied enough to make it a good operation, but we had control over how much, the communities had control over how much they donated through our organization. So, not donated, but contributed, plus the village. So, that's wiped out.
So, I have a quick question. A new marketing manager assistant, this is a new position that you're going to hire?
I put that in there as a potential that we might need an additional administrative assistant, I just didn't know for sure, so I don't know. I just thought I would build in there in case we need it. I know that WODA has a person like that, that's full-time, that they use, and she's really helpful, so, I just. wanted to build that in.
How many buses are we adding for all of this?
3.
3 buses?
3,
3 routes, 3 additional routes for the NODA area. So
yeah.
we're going
This
from
budget covers strictly Addison, Orion, and Oxford townships, and the villages within. We're not expanding routes. That's part of the negotiation that Lynn alluded to earlier. She's working with the county committee and the new transit director, I guess, to get something to us. But the contract we have with the county will strictly cover our current operations, and as Lynn said, an expansion of that operation. 3
add up
buses.
3
within-
buses.
Within Addison, Orion, and Oxford. And they won't, and we will need new buses to serve Independence and Brandon are talked about being the next expansion level, but that's still on the drawing board. It has nothing to do with this.
Well, should we not wait until we find out what our area is gonna be?
Well, I think we can approve our budget and then make it subject to the receipt of the funding from the county. And as far as any new positions, I would expect that they would have to come back to the board before you hired someone for something other than drivers or dispatch.
Right,
Because that would be a new position.
right.
Okay.
So, I'm on board with all of this except for this new marketing manager, and I'm not saying I'm opposed to it.
Right, but
We haven't discussed it. I would like to see a job description.
Oh, sure.
I would like to, hear a little more about it, what this person's going to be doing.
I can take that out.
I think that bears a lot more talking about at the board level. But with that being said, I move to approve the budget adjustments for 2023
As presented.
as presented,
As amended.
as amended.
Okay.
Support.
So we have,
I'd like to open up for discussion.
well, there's a motion on the floor.
We're gonna discuss it now,
We're going to discuss it.
I
There's a second.
I would just like to say that, I've been in the business of watching over the public's money and doing budgets for, this is my 4th term. And I've never had something like this that had to go through so quickly and so massively without thinking about some of these things. And I understand that the county has put us in a bad position, but it's almost like we have money just burning a hole in our pocket and we have to spend it. And I'm just a little concerned, that's how the government works in Washington. They have money in their pocket and they have to spend it. But sometimes people don't even know what they're spending it on. I'm a little bit, I'm not concerned about Lynn's. Lynn has always done extremely well for us, and she has run NODA completely efficiently. I just don't know where we're getting all of these salaries. Are these union salaries from SMART? Or are these,
Smart actually is currently $19 to $23 for their union. They're looking to increase from that. They said they're way under, or they should be. So as we talked amongst ourselves, we decided $20 is what, we don't want to be in competition with each other, so we want to make sure that we're all offering similar rates so that we are competing with our, trying to get drivers, so that we have similar benefits.
I think we made it very clear at the joint meeting with the county that we're not interested in competing or trying to match SMART. What they do is not what we do. And I think we did drive that home. My impression was they knew that we're not gonna be SMART. We're not gonna be all things to all people. We have our niche in our own operations, and that's what they're buying into. But, okay, is there any more discussion on the motion? Okay.
I'll just point out, this is to market. I mean, this is value to the market as well, and what other people are being paid. I mean, Mike right now makes $10,000 more than a driver without an increase.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Without an increase, Mike would make $10,000 more than a driver full-time.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the 2023 budget amended to reflect there's no new marketing manager position. So the total will be the same.
But I'll just put it into contingency.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Okay, could you just spell out what the actual motion is, what the actual dollar amounts? That's all I need to know,
Right.
is what each driver's gonna make, what the manager's gonna make, just
It's
so
all
we get it
on
on the record. Well, I just would
It's-
like it on the record so
Oh,
that the
sure.
people
But
hear it.
the drivers will start at $19 for 0 to 6 months in their training, and then they'll go up to $20. That's for both full-time and part-time. Dispatch will start at $20 for their training from 0 to 6 months, and then they'll go up to $21 an hour. That's both full-time and part-time. The operations manager will be at $80,000 full-time, and the director will be at $120,000 full-time.
And I know some of the supervisors and village presidents and that, the county went out and advertised for the three planner, principal, and manager of transit. And the maximum funding for the planner alone was $93,622. And the full-time manager is the maximum is $138,323.64. And quite frankly, I'm gonna say it real fast, we're blessed that Lynn wants to stay with Nona, is willing to work, she's gonna quit her other job to go full-time, and she'll be making less money. And I think that's something we have to appreciate. So, in the budget, in the motion, Bruce, we'll reference the NOTA 2023 salary and benefit budget spreadsheet that you're looking at with those numbers for pay rates for 2023. And then we'll eliminate the new marketing manager assistant position, and that money will be rolled into contingency so that the budget value itself, the balanced budget will be
$3,169,093.
So are there any further points? Okay, I'm going to ask for a roll call vote to approve the motion as amended or amended the budget as motioned by RD and seconded by Chris. When you ready.
Brakefield,
No.
Payne,
Yes.
Barnett,
Yes.
Bordeaux,
Yes.
Pearson,
I'll vote yes.
Sarowski.
Yes.
Motion carries. I know that was a tough one, folks.
I would just like to add, this is uncharted territory for a small township. This is, this budget is huge for this transportation system. I know we do really good work, and I know now that the county has put their arms around this whole thing, but I hope that we're actually getting our value and that we're not just trying to keep up with the Joneses next door and keep those wages at whatever they are, because we'll never compete with smart, a union operation. And I just hope that our citizens are getting their money's worth on this huge tax increase.
I'm gonna make one quick add, if I could,
Okay.
short add. Bruce and us, all in Addison, are doing our budget right now. Bruce goes over line item by line item, and I think that's what you were alluding to. If we had the budget just handed to us and say, approve it, without going over line by line by line,
I think
to
all of
me,
us here
that's
understand
bad.
that
We
that's how
should,
government
we should be able to go over it line by line. That's
Well,
why I
I
said.
have gone over it line by
We've done
line. I've
that.
looked at every single line item on here.
Congratulations.
I mean, we've had it for 3 weeks,
Yes,
2 weeks.
yes, that's why there's so many questions.
Yeah, so I just, we've gone over it.
All right, so, not to interrupt, but
When to go?
the next item under that was physicals for drivers. There's really, I don't think, any need for discussion, but we can. Lynn, do you want to just tell them?
Yes, we were at a meeting where the general manager, Smart, was saying that as chauffeurs, we need to have physicals for our drivers. And we did look into that through the state. It is true if you're an intrastate driver, we don't have those, they're all interstate. And when it's interstate, it's based on the individual state's law. And so Michigan's says that you don't need to have that unless you are driving 16 or more passengers or if you're taking hazardous materials. So I think that Dwight, maybe coming from a state that did require it, but Michigan doesn't. So that's good news for us. We don't have to have the medical card for our drivers.
Quick question, do you have, if one of your drivers gets in an accident, do you automatically take them over for drug testing, drug and alcohol testing?
Only if there's been an injury, or what is it, it's the injury where the vehicle cannot be, it has to be towed, both have to be towed away. There's like certain requirements.
Criteria.
And you can't do it if it doesn't meet those requirements.
Oh, really?
It's getting into trouble, because we have the FTA audit come in, yeah, so I used to say, if you're in an accident, get it, it's like, oh, no, it has to meet these requirements in order for you to do it, so, yeah, so.
Okay, thank you.
Our CDLs have both, does that come
Yeah,
with the
CD
physical?
To keep a
must,
CDL, you
yes,
have to get it.
yes.
Okay, so those are the only people in there.
Right.
There.
Okay, the meeting schedule for 2023 is there.
I move to approve the meeting schedule for 2023.
No second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the meeting schedule for 2023 for the NODA. All in favor of that, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no.
Did we switch over to starting charging for $9.50?
Okay, no, we can do that. You'll note that there was a change from last month on the agenda. We're gonna start charging in February $2 a ride rather than in January, as the county asked us to, because frankly, we have to implement it, and it's gonna take a little time. We've got.
And you have to let our residents know.
Yes,
The
exactly.
residents and the drivers have to learn how to manage it, so this will give Lynn time to do that.
Do you need a motion?
Mhm.
I'll
Yeah.
make a motion that we start charging rides February the 1st, 2023 for $2 a ride.
Second.
Is that $2 each way?
Yes,
So $4 a day?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, can we have a roll call, please, Lynn?
Sure. McDonald?
Yes.
Brakefield?
Yes.
Payne?
Yes.
Barnett?
Yes.
Bordeaux?
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Cyrosky.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Motion, or there are no public present, well, there is. If there are no public comments,
Okay.
we'll, look for a motion to receive and file the monthly rider.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion carried. Board member comments. Merry Christmas, everybody. I think we all feel the same. And then,
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no.